What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 2 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Mannfred von Carstein Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we had a decently strong start as we took our first province and then defeated and vassalized or subjugated the Cult of Sigmar. It is amusing to have the Cult of Sigmar be our vassals, and there is potential for getting some decent use out of their units, assuming that they eventually tech up to some stuff that we may have potential for using, like artillery in particular, which obviously the vampires, generally speaking, lack. And obviously steam tanks and maybe luminarchs. Well, I mean, Mannfred might like luminarchs, might not like looking at them with all the light magic, but yeah, and land ships. Anyway, this time around, we're looking to head through the Necrarch Brotherhood's domain, destroy them, and then take Khemri and destroy Cetra real quick before continuing to take the territories around us. We will probably start to go after the first of the books of Nagash, which is here in the Great Desert of Erebus, as soon as we get the ability to recruit Graveguard and get a better army than just, you know, skeletons and stuff, which is what we're on the approach to do. Wilmar von Carstein, our new stupidly expensive lord, is on the field, and I'm still not sure whether we'll keep him or delete him shortly, but there is one idea. We could use him to support essentially a full army of nothing but bats to reinforce, as he can get bats for free due to the Fell Nest upgrade at level 10. So really we just need to recruit or get enough points to get the Fell Bats up and running, and then it'll be a choice between the Houndmaster trait, which buffs up the Fell Bats by giving them armor piercing, or the Nightborn trait, which significantly reduces the upkeep of Vargulfs, Vargeists, Terrorgeists, and Zombie Dragons. After all, we do want to have an air superiority sort of army, and the von Carstein will probably be that one, especially as he does have further upkeep for Vargeists here by 40%, and okay, this is just for direwolves, so we don't care about that, but yeah, we could go for 60% reduction in upkeep for Vargeists if we ignore Houndmaster trait and just sort of start off with bats. And it's really a good possibility, but anyway, we will see. For now, let's see what we gotta do this turn, which is apparently nothing. So, we have 2 Blood Kisses available to us. We could try to pop one of these rights, for example, this one, to get the Frenzy ability up and running for the Graveguard. The thing is, we don't have them for very long. The question, I guess, then is, do we want to use any of this right now and put it on a 20-turn cooldown, which is pretty significant. It's just that the Frenzy is a permanent upgrade, and same with the Terror for both of these units. The Terror, I suppose, doesn't matter so much to us right now because we are currently going to be fighting the Tomb Kings, which are it's irrelevant to them. I'm gonna say let's do Blood Moon. It's not like we can afford another Bloodline Lord right now, right away, right? I think right. Let's do this. Perform right, just for the Frenzy, and then it'll get it off cooldown a little bit quicker. Alright, looks good to me. Unassigned skill points, building upgrades available. No, we're waiting on those. End turn, and let's proceed. Also, while the turn is ending, for those of you unfamiliar with how we do things on the channel, once again, we'll be doing a threshold thing to determine the length of the episode. So, if this episode gets 500 likes and 70 comments, the next episode will be an hour-ish long. Sometimes I go over. Okay, I have a bad tendency to constantly go over. But anyway, keep that in mind if you like the longer episodes. Manny, you cannot reach the Springs of Eternal Life this turn, so I guess we'll head you right to the edge of Bagar. And Kadan, you can keep following, at least until we get zombies. Bruno, you are going to... Okay, ally begins outpost construction. Great for ally. Faction destroyed Arachnos, not our problem. Maintain control of 3 provinces. Getting there. You're going to steal tech from these guys and hopefully not fail. And there's Cetra. Alright, failure. Well, at least he didn't die. Wilmar, you can actually reach this place. Huh. Wait, if we go into March stance, we could reinforce. That might not be a bad idea. It's poorly defended as well, even if it does have some Graveguard. Alright, fine then. What we will do then is pop you into March stance. Like so. We will raise, I guess, another Fell Bat. And we could use a Crypt Ghoul, sure, why not? And all your zombies are gone, but it won't be like that forever. Alright, then we're going to switch you down to Construction Time Reduction and Repress Mortals. so that we can build up Casa Bar, and then after the 5 turns or 4 turns, once reduced are done, and then we'll be able to build the Graveguard, and once we build up the Graveguard Mausoleum. And then we're going to declare war on these guys. So Cetra, we are going to join your war against Necrarch Brotherhood for money. Tiny amount of money, and then we'll kill you right after. And that seems like a very nice and Mannfred thing to do. You, head to the Springs of Eternal Life. I guess it was worth our time to get you going. Slaneshi giggle. Alright, decisive defeat, I don't think so. We'll move you in like so, and Manny will move in. Ooh, we're gonna have to pop him into the Springs of Eternal Life after. Unfortunately, they are lots of living units there. We don't have Vampiric Corruption is what I was getting at. Anyway, go. Pyrrhic Victory, really? Alright, fine. I don't mind. We can do a little bit of undead on undead action. Now let's level you up, sir. And we should probably get you Children of the Night to get you very, very cheap zombies. Granted, they're already super cheap, but right now, at least while you're following Mannfred around, he's the one casting, not you, so Children of the Night it is. Does Manny have access to it as well? He does. So I guess that's going to be a question. Do we get him Children of the Night even though he's so incredibly point hungry? I'd love to, but I fear that we might not have enough points if we want to max out his tech trees. Alright, well, I guess that's the only thing we can do then. Wilmar, you can, I guess, have Restless Dead. We still obviously want to get your trait, but I'm still kind of on the fence between Nightborn and Houndmaster, so Restless Dead to start, and then we'll pick the others up afterwards. Let's do it.
Our time is now.
Alright, here we go. Sorry to the Necrarch Brotherhood, but they're in a bad position, and, well, they're going to get wiped out. Our first vampire, or von Carstein Vampire Lord, we don't yet have a regular Vampire Lord, but ideally we'll have at least one of every single kind of Lord before the end of the campaign, so, plus obviously the Legendary Lords, so that's a fair few armies. Anyway, we'll get him in action shortly. More importantly, however, the first time we'll be seeing the Graveguard with halberds will not be in our own army, but in an enemy army. But hey, a little bit of undead on undead action ain't too bad of a thing either. So, we can enjoy them before they're destroyed and then build our own as soon as we actually tech up to where we need to be. Anyway, I'm going to speed this up a teensy bit as we wait for our reinforcements to arrive on the field, which is actually going to take a minute. I guess I should have sped it up a little bit earlier, but oh well. All good. Enemy is led by a Strigoi Ghoul King here. Not a Strigoi bloodline, just a regular Ghoul King, and he does have a Vampirus of Death in tow, which means we have to watch out for Spirit Leeches even as we Spirit Leech them. I guess it's going to be a little bit of back and forth, like on like sort of action to start the day off. Alright, everybody's getting into position. Unfortunately, we do have to wait for the zombies to get there. They are rather slow with their 20 move speed, so... are they the slowest unit in the game? Is there anything that's slower than 20 move speed? If there is, I don't know what it is. Anyway, what speed does Queen Bess move at, out of curiosity? Granted, she's an artillery piece. I think there are artillery pieces, or many artillery pieces might be around 20 move speed, but while moving as fast as an artillery piece ain't all that great. Anyway, we're nearly in position now. The zombies are here. I'm not even waiting for them to fully get into position, and we're going to start off on the first of our Spirit Leeches. Mr. Johan over here. Let's see how hard this hits him, though we can't really quite tell because he's going to pop that Invocation of Nehek, counteracting the Spirit Leech by adding to the spell resistance and healing up the damage that was taken. How much does Spirit Leech cost, out of curiosity? Wait, it costs 10, whereas Invocation of Nehek costs 8, so that's actually a loss of 2 mana, though I do have to wonder how much mana the enemy has. Probably not as much as we do. Anyway, our Vampire Lords will make it into the fray, and our White King, knocking the few enemies back, will join up as well. Our fast-moving units will start the day against some Graveguard with great weapons, while the rest of our army slowly approaches. Looks like some bats come down as well, and the enemy is heading towards us with sort of random piles of units. Right, come on, you can get there. Barrow Guardians, etc. And let's see what we got here. Well, Manny's still casting in the midst of all this while getting the occasional swing away at the enemy. Granted, nothing here is a real threat to him. Maybe the great swords with great weapons, and yeah, they've done some damage to him, but he can heal himself as needed. He can also summon zombies in the enemy's way just to prevent more units from surrounding him, and will indeed also capture the enemy Strigoi Ghoul King in order to via the zombie summons. And the zombies will act as a bit of a meat shield for the White King as he tries to move through them in order to attack the enemy Vampire of Death. Alright, camera got away from me there. Anyway, the rest of our army has moved on in. We got summons on the flanks, wherein we don't really care if they take damage. They are blocking off enemy Graveguard, and the enemy has brought a fair few of those armor-piercing Graveguard, both the Halberdiers and the several units of great weapons that they have. Which is nice. 20 bonus versus large, pretty solid as well. Alright. It'd be lovely to have a nice sort of balanced army of Graveguard and Black Knights. Otherwise, it looks like our flanking units, or the units on our flanks of zombies, are dying, but that's what they're supposed to do. And bats are still surrounding at least some of our heroes, but the enemy's army is beginning to dwindle. Over in the back line, there we go, the Black Knights will charge right into the back of the enemy Halberdiers. We probably can't stick around for too long, because obviously the massive anti-large bonus will start bringing these guys down, even if they were charged in the back. But it'll hold there at least a little bit. These are the sword and board variant of Black Knights after all, not the lance variant, so that they can stick in combat, or stay in combat. And just had to wait for the ghouls to come on in, and they've arrived, so they're starting to apply poison. We can back the Black Knights off and then cycle charge them as needed. Now that said, the balance of power is at about 80-85% in our favor, and the battle will soon be ours. And the enemy dead either added to our own or buried beneath the sands. And hey, if it isn't the enemy Strigoi Ghoul King in a fight with the von Carstein Lord. Strigoi bloodline all degenerated in their current manner, facing off against the von Carsteins, which have the curse of their bloodline being essentially megalomania, which is definitely exhibited by their legendary lords. And down goes this Strigoi, and with him I do believe that will force the rest of his army to shatter. The Graveguard begin melting away, and now it's just a matter of time. I do kind of like their color scheme. Would have been, I suppose, like a little bit of a deeper purple, but it almost looks like it was once a deeper purple, and then it sort of, faded out with time. It's not like these guys are acquiring newly dyed fancy clothes and all that sort of stuff, especially the whites. Oh, somebody's painting these guys' shields, on the other hand, so, yeah. Now, that's something I'm curious about. How did, So are there a bunch of zombies or skeletons just sitting there painting shields for everybody, or are they getting the mortal? Well, they're probably getting the mortal peasants to do it for them rather than using undead for that purpose. But it would be funny. Just the image kind of tickles me. Anyway, down go the rest of the enemy, and our blob is victorious over their blob of undead. Alright, very nice, though we could have used a little bit more mana. I was wondering why we didn't have enough. It's because Wilmar led instead of Mannfred. But lorefully, I guess that does kind of make sense. Manny has a tendency to rule from the shadows type deal, use puppets and all that, so kind of does work for him to reinforce and then take credit. We don't need to subjugate these guys. I don't think that there's any purpose to doing so, as in we wouldn't get anything out of them, so we'll just occupy the place. And then we're going to move Wilmar out of the territory settlement, whatever. Put him into channeling, and then put Manny into the settlement like so. And I guess you're nearby as well. We'll see if Cetra decides to attack us on the basis of all that. And, ooh, we can summon more zombies and stuff here, which is nice, but we'll wait until we have the stance to summon them cheaply next turn. We don't need the barrow here. We will instead build the marble first, which I assume is construction cost. Ooh, upkeep reduction for Graveguard and Black Knights and Blood Knights faction-wide? Huh. Interesting. It's interesting that it's marble that does that. Okay, I guess we're going to be wanting more marble. Is there any more marble around here? I don't remember, but maybe there is. And if there is, well, we're going to go and find it. Hello. We get the Golden Tower, control, research, and fairly decent amount of income as well. Certainly a decent thing to pick up. Obsidian Lodestone from Manny? No. Kadon, you got the Razor Standard also? No. Okay, let's, okay, wait, just give me a second. I guess we keep the Rod of Flaming Death for now. Manny, you're going to get the Razor Standard, get a little bit of that armor piercing on some of your guys. Don't bother with the Obsidian Lodestone. We will give that to this Necro because he has that Forbidden Rod. Like so. Assuming this counts as a spell. I think it does. Anyway, then we will give, I suppose, Kevin for now the Potion of Toughness, though that'll obviously change as we go. Speaking of Kevin, finally got that Magical Animus, Leadership plus 15, and training still doesn't matter over much because we don't have enough units to, you know, make good use of it. Anyway, let us get here, I guess, Curse of Undeath to start and then Raise Dead afterwards. And once again, who do you guys buff in numbers? You have the Crypt Ghoul buffs. Yeah, so... Oh, you also buff Black Coaches and stuff. That's nice. That's real nice. Alright, working on it. We'll still need another Necro in that particular army. I do believe that's all we can do for this particular turn, however. And once again, we can end the turn. So skip building upgrades, etc. And the turn. We'll see where Cetra proceeds after this. It looked like he was attempting to hit Kotar, meaning he's going to leave Khemri undefended, or at the very least not defended by his main stack, which may be a fairly big error, depending on whether we can reach it in one turn. That said, do we have Siege Attacker? Let's find out. Manny, you... do not have Siege Attacker. Cetra might be able to hit the Springs of Eternal Life, but we've invested in it not at all. And I don't think he'd be able to take Kasabar because it's too well defended. Also his army as well. Actually, those Skeleton Chariots would be a massive threat to us. That said, Khemri... Oh, we do have Siege Attacker in the Vargeists. Nice, very nice. Alright, so we need to do two things. You, or I guess you, it doesn't really matter who, go into Raised Necromantic Ritual stance. Get yourself some cheap zombies, because they're going to be in your army. We got Skeleton Warriors and Dire Wolves. I was hoping for something a little bit better, but oh well. You, try to steal tech from here. 50-50, yeah? Yeah, it's not getting better. Alright, give it a try again. It's so expensive, but we gotta train up a tech thief. And Bruno's our tech thief. Come on, man, don't just screw us on this. Hey, a success. Very nice. We are going to hopefully recruit some doggos to recruit some bats for you, but not ready for it yet. All right, Kasabar. Immediately, we will want to upgrade you, so we'll go for that upgrade. And then we'll turn off Repress Mortals and then bump up Foster Terror in order to get the growth and start collecting income. Now that we have the tier 3, we are better off gaining the money rather than waiting. Khemri is at war with Kotar, or Numas rather. We will join your war against Khemri. Like so. Alright, and also, what does gold do for us faction-wide? It's income from all buildings, all regions, and province. Okay, so it's just, well, it's just gold. It's just good for generating money in that particular location, which is fine, I suppose. You're gonna hit Khemri, my friend. And the rest of you are going to reinforce. Alright. Yeah, we gotta remember that sieges are quite a bit tougher in SFO than they are in vanilla, so we do definitely have to be careful. And we might also get a desync because of the moderately increases the health of settlement walls, but there isn't much we can do about it. Until the devs decide to actually fix the desyncs, we are kind of stuck with them. Anyway, you guys both will leech, and thus you will both reinforce. I mean, technically we should switch you all to channeling, but we'll do that after we actually take Khemri. Also, anything we can raise in this particular location? No, it doesn't look like it, despite the... Hey. You need to actually move close enough to reinforce. Dude. Okay, are you guys... There you go. Alright, now. Time for Khemri. Pyrrhic victory now, but can't be auto-resolving it. And, well, we're still liable to take a fairly decent amount of damage, but gotta do what you gotta do. Go. Alright folks, unfortunately a bit of bad news. Our old friend Broken Siege Replays is back, and the desyncs are so severe here that the replays don't work, which means unfortunately we'll have to play them manually, as we occasionally have to do. Oh well, not a huge deal I hope, and I promise I'll try to do my best to avoid Broken Replay sieges and do as much in field battles as possible. With the exception of possibly doing the sieges for the battles where we know that there won't be a desync, which is the battles where there are no defensive structures constructed. Anyway, since we're doing this manually, let's move forward. Everybody over here. Oh, hello, some units of skeleton archers. You guys are gonna have a bad time, I wager. Get the flying units up there. You guys get ready to move out here. Speed it up while we're at it. And start breaking through that gate while these zombies... Okay, you know what? The zombies march forward. Manny, getting unit of zombies summoned here. And you activate that forbidden rod, please. Alright, all of you guys, group 3, go for the flyers. You guys start climbing those walls, and Manny, I guess you can summon a unit on the inside, although it might be a little bit of a waste. You know, some of the zombies here, everybody else can wait. You guys can help attack. Flyers, get ready to land. Like so, and like so. Oh, lovely. Alright, so I guess while those guys are up... Annie's no longer attacking the wall. Alright, try a little bit harder with the help of the Barrow Guardians, which with their hammer blows will hopefully do a little bit better at it. Anyway, you guys, all of you zombies, we don't really care about you. We're gonna have you attack, and then we'll have the direwolves break down the gate here while the Black Knights are ready to move, get ready to move in and capitalize on the gate being broken down and undefended here. And with all the range destroyed up on top of the walls. Now, speaking of range and the enemy, we do still have the Screaming Skull catapults on the field, so we do have to watch out for those. Try my best to make it a pseudo-cinematic wherein I still control the battle, but also actually get the occasional decent battlefield shot. Okay, looks like you guys are more or less good. How's that unit of skeleton archers? Alright, destroy that for good. How's that gate looking? What's been destroyed? Unit has been wiped out. Oh! I guess we didn't... Oh, we didn't have enough mana. Alright. It's all good. Alright, you guys still attacking the gate as best you can, so keep on doing so, please. Do we have that enemy Tomb Prince nearby? Yes, indeed we do. Let's pop that Master of the Black Arts, get the Spirit Leech up and running, and I see the enemy ranger now attacking us. Send some skeleton warriors through. We're still attacking the gate, and flyers, get ready to move towards the enemy range. Alright. No, where are you going, buddy? I didn't tell you to go over there.
Portals quail.
Alright, we need a little bit more mana, so another Forbidden Rod will do it for us. Just gotta get that power reserve to where the summons won't unsummon. All of you go for the gate, please. I know where this guy keeps trying to go. I mean, we could send them up on top of the walls as well. There is potential for that. But right now, the walls with the zombies are taking shots from the enemy artillery, which is just fine. Although, firing parallel to the line of deployment like this is probably not going to be so good for this poor little unit of zombies. However, obviously, since I'm replaying this, because the replay was broken, as in I'm refighting it. A bit of a hassle, admittedly, but it does mean the casualties don't matter whatsoever. Now, let's just speed it up a little bit as we close the distance. Everybody else is just working on that gate anyway, so it hardly matters. Vargeists go here, baddies touch down, and other baddies also touch down. Now, there we go. Artillery crew will be in terrible shape shortly, and, well, still have a gate to work through. Annoy these Ushabti. Summon a unit of the Zombos, and... now that the enemy is distracted, we can send the Graveguard in, or at least up the walls. Alright, let's see how you guys are doing. Alright, the enemy archers are still holding, but the artillery crew are pretty much destroyed. Obviously, the enemy archers are no threat in melee, despite those very cool-looking swords that they've got. Let's see. I just want to see the Kopesh that the Ushabti use. Yeah, they're a little bit different. Anyway, how are we doing in here? Everybody is fine. Oh, a little bit of damage on one of the bat units. Go figure. The one that actually fight. Okay, well, I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have said anything about the lackluster melee damage of those units, because they did manage to somewhat hurt the bats. Anyway, it looks like we've managed to break through here, not that it was particularly critical. Let's start moving into the enemy settlement. Leave the zombies alone, but we can get the crypt horrors in there as well. Bats have nearly done their work here, so let's start sending the Vargeists up the wall, maybe to surround and attack that Tomb Prince, and get ready to start working on, or continue working on that gate. Alright, another Spirit Leech, methinks, on the Tomb Prince, and you guys go after him. Bellbats, I would like you to surround and kill this unit of Skeleton Horse Archers. I do have to wonder how well they will do in melee, and I guess we're about to find out. Land on them. And you land on them as well. Wait. They're still moving. Wait, is this one unit or is this two units? This is two units, because they kind of separated themselves, and it's kind of odd looking. Anyway, the enemy Tomb Prince should be just about dead. Does he have the Curse of Joth available to him? I guess we're about to find out if everybody here is forced into a rampage. Tomb Prince looking absolutely tiny compared to those Vargeists. But he'll be looking like a little pile of bones shortly, so it'll hardly matter. Well, looks like one of these Skeleton Warriors is starting to suffer a little bit of damage. Let's heal it up here, I guess. Oh, it's one of the ones on the walls. Then we can't heal it up. How's that Tomb Prince? And oh, just as I looked away is when he got destroyed. That's the, I guess, issue, but oh well. We can also maybe give the Book of Arcane buff to the Vargeists. Ooh, these guys are dying. Heal them up. Heal them up, and at the same time, let's get another one of these Forbidden Rods going. These guys are doing a really good job at holding back the tide of units at the breach, and it looks like our walking units are all trying to climb the walls now because of this annoyance. Yeah, on the other hand, it isn't less kind of smart of a thing for them to have done, so not too bad. Let's keep those bats healed up while they continue to fight, and yeah, those Ushabti. Putting a pile of Ushabti into the gatehouse, or into the gate, means our Graveguard are going to have a very tough time breaking through, at least until we get access to Graveguard with great weapons and halberds. On the unfortunate side for the enemy, however, the walls will fall before all that does. We could also maybe another summon going right here. And maybe even a second summon as needed. Alright, let's also upgrade the bats to... Okay, you know what? These bats... I'd like you to move around, land, and then we'll give you the Van Helsdance Macabre to buff you up. And yes, Nagash was weak. We'll prove it once we've taken the Black Pyramid of Nagash, but until then, you maybe should, relax. Anyway, you hit the Tomb Guard there. And this warrants another heal on the bats, I think, while everybody else is still relatively okay. There we go. Alright, sending some Tomb Guard flying. Frankly, the better option is to sort of have these guys loop around and hit the unit guarding the wall in the back so that they fly off the walls, but once again, this is hardly a problem. Alright, let's upgrade those Vargeist attacks so that they kill faster, and those Ushabti are going to be the next target of our Spirit Leech spam. Let's do the healthier Ushabti and attack them, and we still have a little bit of mana, so we can get another summon going as needed. Looks like the summons are in bad shape, or summons. The Tomb Guard up on the walls are in bad shape. Vargeists have always been absolutely fantastic at clearing walls. They've been fantastic at it since Game 1, and that hasn't changed all the way to Game 3. Their biggest issue is that they're fragile and relatively likely to get trapped. The thing about them being on walls is that there's really nothing that can be on walls that has sufficient mass to easily trap them, so they're actually much better holding walls and attacking on them than they would be on the ground normally. Gotta love it. Anyway, baddies, come down on the skeleton archers. The Vargeists can maybe try to hit those who shout to you now and help out. Like so, and you guys come down, hit the enemy from the other side. Alright, looking pretty good. Let's upgrade or buff the Vargeist attack a little bit more. We probably don't need to summon much more, and frankly, by the looks of it, the battle is pretty much ours. Just gotta knock out the last of these units. We still got plenty of decent shots. I mean, it's an easy enough battle where I can control it and look around at the same time. Not every battle is going to be like that. Which is why we'll want to avoid the sieges with the defensive structures, or, there's probably not a sub-mod. If I can ask around. I wouldn't know how to do it, but all we'd have to do to fix replays would be to revert the changes to structures, right? So anything that changes, that increases gate health, wall health, and tower health to normal, if they were normal, there would be no replay issues. Huh, why didn't I think of that before? Gotta remember to try to do that. Anyway, last of the Ushabti are about to fall in the battle is about to be ours. I guess the Balefire is superior to the souls animating the constructs there. Another kick from Manny. He remains very kick-happy. Alright, and I believe the last Ushabti have fallen, and there we go. The battle is ours. Alright, close victory apparently, but I think the auto-resolve is just having a poor time recognizing the expendable nature of the zombies and the fact that we're perfectly willing to waste as many of them as needed. There was no real damage, just one unit lost, and 1 unit of zombies for Khemri is a pretty darn good trade. Lovely. We have, hello, a Fellbat building here. Well, that's lovely. I wasn't expecting that. And a Talisman of Endurance, as well as a Black Cat. All right. Restless Spirit, sure. Manny, you're going to take the Black Cat because... Oh, you already got that. You are going to take the Talisman of Endurance because, well, it's kind of pointless putting it on the Necro, at least right now. And everything else has already been assigned. Lovely. All right. Manny, you've also leveled up, so let's get you the Unliving Host. And yes, we have another point available in Necromancer Supreme, don't we? We do spam Spirit Leech, so I think we gotta get that up and running, and then probably Lore Master, Lore of Death. Well, I won't increase the... It'll reduce the cooldown, but it won't reduce the cost of spamming Spirit Leech, so there is that. Anyway, you're good. Aldous. What do we have for you? Definitely raise dead, and then we'll do replenish troops another point in it right after. Especially once we have troops that we don't want to get rid of or lose the veterancy thereof. You can have the hunger, because you're mostly going to be fighting for now. And you can... That's a really expensive, aren't they? 850, yeah? Can we raise any bats? We cannot raise any bats. You know what? Hold off on raising the bats for now, but we'll change that up as we go. We should probably recruit the... zombies. It's not a crazy amount, but yeah, do it. You guys recruit some zombies. Manny, head outside of the settlement town. Oh, I was gonna say channel. 6 mana. Channel nonetheless. Channel. And you can channel as well. Everybody channel except this guy who's recruiting, though he does need mana as well, but we'll work on it. Springs of Eternal Life, we're gonna ignore you for now, and then we're going to move to head off Cetra, who will either attack Qatar, move to Springs of Eternal Life, or head to Numas, either way. And ooh, Khorne is nearby. That's going to be interesting. Lots of heavy armor on him, and in the early game should be really tough for us. Alright, anything else we need to do this particular turn? Shifting Sands is fine. These guys are still rebuilding. Got some greatswords. Wait, they don't have a greatsword building. Must be an older unit or a spawned unit or something. End turn. Let's see where Cetra goes. I have no idea where he went. Okay, he moved to Qatar. Alright. Couldn't quite tell that for a second. Hello, is that a battle marker? Wonder what we have available here. Could be some Graveguard, and if it is, that would be just lovely. We'll find out shortly. Alright, so, ooh, there we go, there's that...
has been issued, mighty lord. A great adventure beckons. Be wary, though, for while the potential rewards are great, so too are the perils.
Alright, so we got the quest for the Sword of Unholy Power up and running shortly. Looks like, well, we don't know what's in the reinforcements, but we should probably take this battle relatively early, just to unlock this thing. I do like the recruitment cost reduction. You know what, we should maybe take the quest before getting the recruits, the new Graveguard up and running, so in like 6 or 8 turns or whatever it is. Alright, grow your forces, mission issued. We will try to do so. Looks like the enemy didn't come for Springs of Eternal Life, so we'll get the Brimstone Cutter's Workshop. We could probably get rid of the Sepulchral Grove here. I mean, I do like the ability to get bats, but it's not super necessary right now. Oh, you can raise a bat. Can you raise bats cheaper? 663, Manny is 510, and you're 6723. Alright, so you are going to go into Necromantic Ritual. And then you're going to raise a Fell Bat for... wait. Yes, for 425, which is reasonable in terms of expense. I guess we could get another doggo. They have been fairly useful. On the other hand, with the lack of zombies, maybe we want to get some more skeleton warriors. Okay, raise the bat. You can take the one bat, just the one for now. And then you can raise 2 skeleton warriors. Like so. Still reasonably cheap. And then head to Numos. From Numos, we should be able to see Cetra, and ooh, I should have moved the Tech Thief guy. Which can just reach the place. Alright, really gonna hope that you can't block Manny, as that would be unfortunate. You'll take it. And success again! Very nice, Bruno. I'm shocked. It doesn't usually work out so well for these guys, as in for the Tech Thieves, but that's impressive. You head to Numos. And we'll auto-resolve this as soon as we have the others to move in and leech XP. Alright, Wilmar, you can... I think you can reach him. At least I hope you can, and by the looks of it, you can as well. Oh, you two are going to be in each other's way, sort of, so let's do this, get you a little bit closer. Lovely. How close are we to rank 10 or whatever it is for the free bets? Okay, getting there. Still a little bit to go, but getting there. Cetra, you've made a terrible mistake in moving the way that you have. Auto-resolve... yeah, decent bit of damage, but that's what we've come to expect. Occupy. Trickster Shard, alright. Well, you know who's a trickster? Manny. Charmed Shield on Kadon might not be a bad option because it's a... the missile block chance and damage resistance will be useful once he is... Manny is a Barded Nightmare. Ooh, Konigstein Stalker's up and running as well. Ooh, Varric's Reaver's up and running as well. Very nice. Although... should we actually have Varric's Reavers in Manny's army? Because technically Varric's Reavers should be commanded by Varric the Blade, and so should the Sternsman Graveguard. But we both eat... I'll think about it. Which means I don't want... I don't want to think about it right now. Let's... let's swap some units out. You, Kadon, can grab the zombies. Damaged though they may be. And Manny, you can, I guess, summon these two guys at the end of next, or at the start of next turn, just so we save on a little bit of cash right now. Numos, we have a Barrow, which is fine, but not necessary here at the current time, because we are building the other Barrow here in Kasabar and Antok. Sort of both, but sort of not, depending on how quickly we can level Antok. Also, you're on Foster Terror, which is fine because we're getting the growth, so there's really nothing else to do. Alright, it's another quick turn. Also, we get the point in the Unliving Host. I guess we max out the Unliving Host with 3 out of 3, and then we save all the rest of the points to get into Unending Ambition for all the various buffs, including the research rate. Ooh, we gotta get that as fast as possible, don't we? We need 2 skill points, so if we are at 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we'll keep it at this rate at At 2 points, and then immediately get this after. Alright, sounds good to me. Thanks, Ruinous. Alright, let's keep going. You know what, I'm gonna name the Tech Thief right now because I'm gonna forget. Unless somebody comes up with a better name for vampiric tech thieves. We came up with many a vampiric, or many an ogre tech thief name last time, in the ogre campaign. Let's just do tech thief for now. Maybe something to do with a Necrarch researcher, something like that, maybe? Somebody do better than me. Magical Animus, you're fine. Let's get your Heroic Killing Blow to power you up a little bit. Frankly, you could use a little bit more in the way of defenses, as you have been taking damage. Granted, Rotten Warlord doesn't help you all that much in terms of your defensive capabilities, but, helps you on the offense a little bit, though the immunity to psychology is admittedly worthless. Alright, unassigned skill points we'll deal with after. End turn. I'm a little bit worried that Cetra's gonna push down here, but that's why we're not investing in it right now. Arcan, you want to be friends now? Military access. Non-aggression pact. Let's be friends. As long as he doesn't attack those ogres. And oh, the Greybeard's prospectors are there. Oh, I gotta use all my willpower not to abandon all other objectives just to go and burn them down. And then salt the earth. And then give their bones to Skaven or something. Alrighty, what do we have here? Liber Necronomica up and running. The main reason that we wanted to do this was the immunity to vampiric attrition for the subjugated human factions. Because these guys are going to be traveling potentially through our territory, and we don't want them taking damage while they do. Let's continue in this light. I was originally thinking we go through Serve in Life or in Death, but I think we want to maybe get the basic sort of... basic upgrades up and running. Let's do this. Casualty or punishment rate for human factions. Upkeep for zombies. Leadership for zombies. Skeletons, etc. And hey, looks like Manny can immediately reach the place and can raise another Betty. Alright, so you're going to head to the edge of this territory. What's the likelihood that we draw Cetra out as a reinforcement? I'm going to say low, probably, right? Hard to say. Anyway, you have two things to do. First of all, you are going to raise a bet. And we are going to transfer that bet to... Okay, you go into regular stance for now until I'm less confused. You're going to transfer it to Wilmar. Also, what is this? Cornate Cult, I take it? We'll burn it down in a second. Transfer the bet here. Then you're going to raise 2 zombies for cheap. And you're going to transfer both zombies to Kadan. I probably shouldn't have kept you in march stance, but whatever, too late. And transfer the zombies, and then, Manny, you are going to summon the Varix Reavers and a Konigstein Stalkers. Nice to have the poison on the Skeleton Warriors. Now it feels like we have too many Skeleton Warriors, or whatever. Obviously, we're just using whatever smattering of units we can cobble together. You're going to hit Kotar.
Raise it to the ground. Darkness.
Come on, don't fail, Mr. Tech Thief. Another success. Wow, this is just super impressive for one of these guys. We don't have anything that increases your capabilities, do we? Also, no, I don't. We will want to put the Black Cat or the other Black Cat on you. All units in army, huh? It's interesting that that says all units in army rather than Lord's army. I want to see something. Ah, everybody's damaged. I wanted to see whether it would work on a hero or not, but I guess we'll see later. The other thing I wanted to do is get the Trickster Shard on you, sir. And we'll put the Book of Arcan on the Necromancer, because I like to have Books of Arcan on the Necromancers. Kind of makes sense. Then, you know what? I guess we'll just attack directly. I don't want this guy to run so that we have to chase him down. It'll be a whole hassle. Let's see about buildings first, though. We could upgrade Antok. Why not? We're collecting money, might as well upgrade it. Khemri, I think we're gonna get rid of the Felbad building for now. I was about to say uncollect the income, but this place is actually making solid cash right now. And vampires get a lot of money out of their basic buildings. We could do the Gallows chain, the Repression chain, for money directly. Or we could do growth here. Frankly, the growth is kind of looking like it's going to be necessary. Alright, start with the charnel pit and then move on to the money afterwards. And we'll probably have to build defenses here. We are surrounded by potential foes. I'd also like to see, what does iron do for us? Upkeep reduction for Graveguard, Black Knight, and Blood Knight. Oh, interesting. So both iron and marble do this, but unlike various other factions, the iron doesn't increase the armor, which is a bit unfortunate. I would have loved to have insanely heavily armored Graveguard by the end, but it looks like that's not going to be... it's not going to be a thing. Let's attack in Vampiric Channeling stance. Go directly for Cetra.
Destroy them.
Like so. Valiant defeat, we'll see about that. And you, can you go into regular stance? You can, sir. And oh, now my question is going to be whether you're going to actually be able to reinforce. I hope so. Yes, and Wilmar, you can go, I think, here and reinforce as well. Ah, Wilmar's out of range. Okay, wait. Go here. You go here. Now are you both in range? Yes. Alright, then we will want to level them both up just in case. So you are going through Children of the Night. I mean, we do cast with you occasionally. Let's at least get your Curse of Undeath and Raise Dead, and then we'll see. And Wilmar, you are... I mean, on the one hand, you're going to be a fighter. On the other hand, we may want to start upgrading your bats. So let's go War of Supremacy and then into Call of the Night. Although, speed and charge bonus for bats, that's terrible. 3 points for this? They are already incredibly fast. I guess the charge bonus is somewhat helpful, but a little bit of... like a 10 armor would have been better than this. Tiny bit of melee defense. What do they get out of this? Anything that helps them stick around for a little bit longer in the fight? Where are the bats? Flying Horrors. Yeah, missile resistance. A little bit more charge bonus. Alright, fair enough. I guess we're good to go, yeah? Yeah. And I'm gonna pop you all into Vampiric Channeling, because otherwise I'm gonna forget and everybody needs to max out their mana. Don't they always? Go. Cetra.
Gravebound, I command thee to attend. Bring thy swords. Reap death. Dance a dance macabre. It is time. The dead march.
Alrighty, I do enjoy watching the various summoned units sort of rise up out of the ground. Also feel like our color scheme, Manny should have a little bit more red on him or something, maybe his cloak or something. I mean, I know he's trying to be edgy with all the black clothes, but everybody else is within the color scheme. Why don't you wear your own colors at least to some degree? Barding on his horse, for example, at least. Anyway, looks like the enemy is arrayed against us. It is, of course, Cetra, the imperishable himself, but at level 10, he has neither his War Sphinx nor his Chariot of the Gods, just a regular skeletal steed, and thus shouldn't be particularly threatening. The enemy army does have a fair few chariots, which will be threatening to us, but that's just fine. Manny's gonna move in and be sneaky as he likes to be, popping those Spirit Leeches and trying to force Cetra into the fight. Nice little exchange of blows as they charge towards each other, but I don't imagine that Manny can take Cetra in a one-on-one, at least not in the early game. Though, of course, Manny is a great swordsman. And Cetra will activate Jeff's Incantation of Cursed Blades, giving him a massive bonus to anti-large and weapon strength generally. Hitting for 804 means that Manny can't take him. But that's alright. Manny is a sneaky, cunning, deceitful, etc. And he's going to lead Cetra forward, pop another Spirit Leech, block him from running, and then have his minions move on in. Zombies will rise out of the ground to block Cetra in, as he doesn't have mass on that skeletal steed and will have a difficult time getting out of the tar pit, while he also gets attacked by the White King and by the von Carstein Lord. Now there we go. Now Cetra's down to a mere third of his HP, and Manny is still at half, but he can heal, and Cetra will die long before the Realm of Souls comes into play. Gotta get his defeat trait, and Manny knows a thing or two about getting what he wants in any, or via any means necessary, every means necessary. There we go. Down goes Cetra. lured into an ambush essentially before the battle proper had begun, though now it has. Looks like it's time for the knights to get to work, and this is the Black Knights charging into the skeleton archer chariots, and generally speaking we'll be sending our knights to hunt the fragile chariots down so that they can't run through our own fragile ranks of weaker or lesser undead. The skeleton chariots over on the right flank have been pretty much destroyed, or, well, down to have, but they'll melt away very quickly once they take a teensy bit more damage. And if they actually manage to try and get away from us, we can simply send the doggos after them. But for now, both bats and doggos alike will both fly over our army and loop around it and hit all those enemy archers in the background. Fortunately, unlike, for example, Quarrelers, the skeleton archers of the Tomb Kings are so fragile that we can send our weakest stuff at them, and they won't be able to do anything about it. Quarrelers or Lothern Seaguard or anything like that, that strategy would not work, and we'd have to use better units for it. Anyway, the rest of our army outnumbering the enemy by the looks of it. They certainly had a lot of those chariots, but it wasn't enough. We've also surrounded a big old blob of enemy Tomb Guard and such, including King Nakesh's Scorpion Legion, Skeleton Spears Regiment of Renown, with a bunch more summons of zombies. Kind of like concentric circles, an onion of various units attacking each other. And in the center, we have the Tomb Prince attempting to take revenge for his liege lord. Tomb Princes, I should say, as there are two of them. And we both attack them with our own heroes while getting those occasional spirit leeches going as well. Alright, and one of the Tomb Princes is just about done here. Looks like the Necromancer has been whacking away at him, which I guess works out. Well, that plus the spirit leeches, I guess. Alright, and the balance of power is now at about 70% in our favor. The Vargeists have touched down and hit another unit in the back, and the Skeleton Spears are beginning to crumble. The other Necromancer is supporting the line here so that he can provide that healing, while the enemy's back line has pretty much been destroyed, which means the Dire Wolves and the Black Knights are able to smash into the back line of enemies, allowing for some morale shocks and thus some faster damage. Oh, I didn't even notice that they had the Kepra Guard here as well as the just the Kepra Guard, yeah. Konigstein Stalkers. Too bad we can't get the, I forget what they were called, the there's an ethereal unit belonging to the Tomb Kings, although now, the Konigstein Stalkers look like this, but they're not ethereal. They don't have any physical resistance. They just look like ghosts, but they aren't. I don't know what the reasoning behind making them look like this is, but whatever. Actually, maybe it'll say here, the most undead are no more than stumbling thralls. These warriors have achieved renown due to their effectiveness, and that doesn't help. Why do they look like ghosts without being ghosts? It was my question. Something to do with them being stalkers, perhaps. Anyway, the enemy has summoned Ushabti due to the Realm of Souls activation, but the Vargeists are here to hold them off, and we can simply mob them. And these guys are still holding, with the King Nakesh's Scorpion Legion being in the center of it. But the enemy are surrounded from every side, and it's just a matter of time as we grind their bones to dust. Unfortunately, in this particular situation, we have so many zombies summoned, and generally so many infantry units working at the same time, that some infantry can't get back into the fight, and the Black Knights are kind of blocked from cycle charging. Fortunately, it looks like the enemy army has finally begun to shatter, and all of their units now begin to crumble away. A few more seconds, and Cetra's last legion will be destroyed. And I do believe his faction destroyed as well. Alright, Ushabti, you're certainly taking a while to disintegrate. But I guess, a fair few of the enemy units are taking a while to disintegrate. But they just couldn't deal with the numbers of units that we had. Although King Nakesh's Scorpion Legion have always looked pretty darn cool. What do they do here? Nahakaran Warriors with 74 kills and 10k damage. I love seeing enemy kill counts when playing vampire counts, just knowing that they just slaughtered their way through hundreds, if not thousands of thralls or zombies and skeleton warriors and stuff, and also knowing that it's completely meaningless. I guess it's a similar reason why Skaven are quite enjoyable as well, because you can send your fodder, your Skaven slaves, into the enemy guns and choke the enemy with your dead, although that, I suppose, is a better descriptor of the vampire counts. There we go, a heroic victory, and Cetra falls for good. Alright, very, very nice. Enemies completely overrun, and our losses pretty darn minimal. Lots of casters available to us now, and that means lots of healing. Just gotta get to those, corpse carts. Biting Blade? Sure, I guess. Nothing crazy. Occupy the place, and I do believe Cetra and Khemri are now destroyed. And Cetra the Perishable, giving us the additional charge bonus to the army, will help the Black Knights that are going to be there. Speed of Lycos, maybe some uses out of it. If we pop it onto Varric's Reavers, for example, could certainly have potential. Obsidian Amulet again. A Gravedigger, raise dead cost, more cheaper raise dead for Manny. That's nice. And another one of these black cats, eh? Can't test it though. At least not yet. Alright, that's fine. Well, everybody's getting one anyway. Ranked up in a province with low control, I guess it's a pretty easy one to get. Khemri destroyed, and we're going to immediately go into... I mean, I guess we'll go into Foster Terror for the... Well, actually, no, our Vampiric Corruption's already maxed out here in Khemri, meaning we can go Repress Mortals for the control. Diplomatic Relations reduction, but that doesn't really matter over much, and it'll speed up the building. On the other hand, the growth is quite nice. No, I'm gonna say start with the growth and then move on to the other stuff later. The charnel pits are fine, at least for now. We might eventually replace them with economic buildings of various kinds, but not at this time. Exiles of Khorne, say goodbye to your cult, and I see there's a blood crown there. Well, isn't that interesting? I wonder how long it'll be before Skarbrand declares war on us. He's currently fighting the top knots. Oh, we have another book at Lamia. I would like to send an actual Lamian to reclaim it, but, well, we can't do that right now. Anyway, the rest of this looks good to me. This is still in growth, and we'll keep growing. We'll have to pick a new enemy. And I'm inclined to say we move this way. Take the Black Tower of Arcan, destroy this, try to grab the... You've taken the Great Desert of Araby, have you? Greybeard's Prospectors. Ooh, it looks like Arcan's not having a great time. Wait, no, he's strength rank 5. He is having a great time. We're strength rank 31. Okay, never mind. But it might be just because Tomb Kings are a little bit weird in the way that the game calculates their strength. Anyway, Tech Thief, you'll stay here. I would like to check on our other Necromancers available. Cooldown reduction for Danse Macabre. No. Cooldown reduction to Invocation of Nehek. That has potential, admittedly. If this was Casualty Replenishment for Lord's Army, that would be an easy pick, but just for this single unit, it's not that meh. Wither, I kind of like more because of the Forbidden Rod. It just has so much value for units that can heal themselves. Especially if we find additional Forbidden Rods. Anyway. I guess we're good to end the turn. So, skip unassigned skill points and end the turn. Faction encountered Greybeard's Prospectors. Yeah, you know what? We're headed over there. It's time. It was always time. We do have to watch out for Orion's camp as well. They might potentially attack some of these places, but we'll have to see. You gotta risky to get the bisky. Oh, a non-aggression, but I wasn't expecting that. Well, it's not like we really care about this territory. I really wasn't expecting that. Sure. I really wasn't expecting that. Alright, go for it. Why not? Trade agreement to non-aggression pact with the Bowmen of Orion. They might... Wait, won't they like it if we attack the dwarfs? I think they will. They might not be super happy about us killing off the lizards, but, well, there are some potential Wood Elf units that get some malevolent, treekin and malevolent treemen. Echo the Vlad campaign for a little while. Ooh, free Helm of Discord, very nice. And I guess we'll pop it on you, sir. Yeah. And then the have the Biting Blade, at least for now, at least until we turn it into something better. We'll give the Obsidian Amulet to the other Necro, which is you. And I guess you can have the Speed of Lycos and the Enchanted Shield as well. I could have probably given them to Wilmar, but also it doesn't really matter over much. What do we have? Hello! What do we have here? We have Graveguard available for recruitment. We have a couple of regular Corpse Carts, but regular Corpse Carts are better than Norps card and no corpse cards. So yeah, we'll do that. All right, we gotta be careful about this. Tech Thief. You can't reach anybody. I guess you can move up north and sort of keep an eye on Scarbrand all the while taking his stuff. He's not gonna love us. He's not even gonna like us, and it's Scarbrand. Very likely that he'll attack us, considering he normally attacks Khemri. So yeah, we'll start with the gold mine here. The growth is going okay. I'd love to cancel the collection of income, but we kind of need it right now. Manny, you're gonna go here. No, you don't have any more zombies left? Unfortunately not. Alright, so Wilmar, you're gonna grab these bats. Wilmar Bat Grabber is gonna be your name. Alright, yeah, take the bats. I'm wondering whether we should give you anything else for now. Alright, either way, we're gonna pop you into Necromantic Ritual, and we're not making the Ghost Army yet. It might be nice to get some Spirit Hosts in the army, simply because they provide that enfeebling attack. Maybe even a couple of these in the Zombie Horde will make it a lot easier for us to... Yeah, maybe. Alright, start with the 2 Corpse Carts, recruit. And we'll pop them into the zombie army.
Yes, you dare.
At least until we have proper corpse carts there. Then we'll give you... Yeah, we'll get them the Spirit Hosts, why not? I also don't want to go overboard in terms of expenses, but at least most of this stuff is cheap. Spirit Hosts, and... take 1 unit of Crypt Ghouls. Like so. Alright, then we'll transfer to Kadan the Spirit Hosts. We get a couple in there just for the hex to annoy things, and I don't know. I'll probably split them off into another army later on. It's just not super critical right now. And do you want to hold on to a couple of the skeleton warriors right now? Let's do that. All right, then Manny, what else do you have room for? Also, what's coming? We got the Tithe zombies. We got the Dire Pack, both at level 12, which we are fast approaching. We do want the 2 Graveguard. Ooh, whoa. Bat aplenty, yes. 3 bats. They'll be free in only a few turns, so... Take the bats. And we'll give them the Vargeists eventually, especially once we can recruit some more. And then get another bat, and then get the Graveguard and the Black Knights. And then transfer. That was this has been a very expensive turn, but what are you gonna do? Alright, and is that good? Do we need to raise any more? 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess we could raise 1 more skeleton warrior. Oh wait, They will serve. I guess we should max out this army as well. Alright, a little bit of admin, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, take these guys for now. And then we'll replace them with zombos. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not like they really cost much of anything. And then transfer. You know what? Keep 2. Wait. If you keep 2, you are 1 short. Ah, damn, that's not gonna work. Alright, do this then. Did I do that right? Manny has now 20 units. You have 1 extra skeleton warrior, which will eventually be replaced by a Spirit Host. I guess. Oh, I could just raise another one of these. I'm kind of too lazy to transfer. Frankly, the skeleton spears would probably be more valuable. It's just that... Yeah. Alright, good enough. No more of that. Manny, it's time to move, buddy. You will move through, I guess, the Black Pyramid, or through our allied territories towards El Calabad and all of this. So go over here. I do believe, at least in vanilla, defeating Raponce de Lyonesse gives you the gives you a defeat trait that gives you at least a little bit of research, which is good. Alright, and how close are we to those graveyard? Alright, Casa Bar's nearly upgraded. We need to now switch you to Repress Mortals for the construction time reduction. And what are you in? You are currently in Foster Terror for the growth, and next turn you'll be able to upgrade, so switch to Repress Mortals for the reduction, and so that we can upgrade Khemri. Alright, lovely. I believe that's it. That's all. You guys are kind of getting each other's way. We're still going to keep them together at least for a little while. Let's double check diplomacy if there's anything interesting here. Top Knots want to ally because they're getting crushed. Followers of Nagash now want to trade, and that's fine by me. We'll keep them alive. I'd love to vassalize Arcan. Hopefully he loses a territory so we can essentially gift it back to him for vassalage. I don't want him to take too many of the territories out here. Oh! Raponce is actually crushing the... Huh. Crushing the Greybeards. You know, that does win them a lot of points in my book, I will admit. Wait, who is Arcan even fighting? He's currently fighting Thegan's Errantry only. Huh. That's kind of interesting. Okay, fair enough. Alright, will anybody suddenly declare war on us? And, huh. Did I move the Tech Thief this turn, or did I move him last turn? I don't want to lose that Tech Thievery. Man, I have no idea how we're going to take Skarbrand down when he inevitably attacks us, because while the rest of his army we can certainly take, Skarbrand himself is going to be a heck of an issue for us. Total Dark Magic plus 500, sure. Talisman of Preservation out of researching 8 technologies, alright, and there's the failure at last. Got 2 more turns to try. Alright, I suppose the other thing that we can do is... Huh. Wait, do we have to recruit the... Let me just see here. I take it we have to actually recruit the Sylvanian crossbows. Damn, I was gonna pop a few of them into the army. Probably not this army, because it's a little bit more mobile. Or somewhat mobile. Just gotta get more Graveguard in here. Alright, I guess we'll ignore it besides, because everything's getting kind of costly. Anyway, let's move this way, and just hope that Skarbrand doesn't move on in while we're sort of moving together. On the bright side, we can... Huh. A moment. There's another option. Okay, these guys do have a lot of constructs. But we're right beside the Black Pyramid, and we could attack it before moving on to these guys. Maybe that's the way to do it. I think I like that better than, you know, just sort of sitting around. We can raise another bat for you, potentially, which we will do so next turn before attacking. For now, though, we got upgrades to do. Most importantly, the Graveguard building, including the Halberdier Graveguard and the Greatsword Graveguard. Definitely getting into this army. You at tier 2, I believe, are not necessary, at least not right now. At least not with the expense that... You're expensive. You are going to upgrade Khemri. And both of you are going to sit... Well, actually, no, you're going to switch back to Foster Terror for the growth. But you're fine, because we need to upgrade the Barrow again next turn. Alright. Unassigned skill points. Tech Thief has failed. Double check Diplo, and then go next turn. Top Knots only still. Nobody else? Alright. Well, looks good to me. No, please raise another Lord right now. That would be just fantastic if we could draw them out into a field battle. I doubt that they will, but who knows. I wonder at what point they... No, Lord. Alright, I guess we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Which I guess is gonna have to be fine by me. Migration gives us growth at the cost of control, which is not so bad right now. I think we will take the growth. A great migration comes to our borders, demanding shelter from larger threats abroad. Do we let them cross into our territory or turn them away? Welcome. Welcome one and all. All are welcome to serve Manny. Alright. Speaking of... Well, let's level you, sir. Oh, no, we're saving points for Unending Ambition. Maybe Maybe just for this fight we do want to get the Unliving Host, because it's going to be a tough fight. Let's be real here. Alright, early Black Pyramid. Unfortunately, we won't be able to take it at tier 3, which means we won't be able to get this up and running right away, but, you know, it's in our way. Manny would be too tempted to do this. Huh, I wonder. A moment, let's take the turn. I don't know whether this will work, but let's give it a shot. Let's move you here. Oh, King Hakor, defending that Black Tower of Arcan area. You are going to briefly go into raise dead cost reduction, raise yourself one more bet. 553, okay, you know, no, never mind, it's too expensive. I'd rather raise it for cheap afterwards. You are, however, going to pop a point into upgrading the bets. You're not really casting for us right now, so let's just go Call of the Night. Or we could go Children. You know what? Let's go Children of the Night for now. Make these guys cheap, but we'll wait until we have Vargeists for basically free, and then that'll be crazy good. Alright, you two will raise your XP just in case the enemy is willing to fight us in the field. Grave Ward missile resistance? Sure, why not? And you Necros, sir? We have Raised Dead and Invocation. We should max them both out, but Master of the Dead always takes precedence for the various buffs that it adds. And ooh, it increases the effect range of Master of the Dead as well. More healing. Gotta get to that corpse card. Replenish troops or Invocation? This reduces the cooldown of Invocation, so I'm gonna say Invocation. Kadan? What are you missing? You were going through Children of the Night, but you do cast periodically, so let's get your Curse of Undeath. You know what? Yeah, let's get your Curse of Undeath. I was about to say we might need you to raise dead, but I think we'll be okay here. Then... Okay, you're our ally, right? Sort of? Sort of ally? Huh. We might even be able to vassalize them. If they get into a war with the dwarfs, this might actually work out well for us. We're gonna upgrade the Mausoleum here. Places are very much not defended, but whatever. And then with the Mausoleum upgraded, I guess we can keep Repressed Mortals for at least one more turn, because Antog is about to be completed. Technically speaking, we need to upgrade that there as well. Alright, then we're going to build siege stuff here. Did I do the right ones? Yeah, we'll do that. We'll see if they're willing to fight us on the field. Though that's a lot of constructs to be concerned about. I do think it'll be a crazy fun fight if they are willing. If they are not... Volkmar... Attack target, Black Pyramid of Nagash. We'll see if he moves to reinforce and actually does something useful. He is building armies, if nothing else. Hero not moved. Oh, right, I almost forgot about our little tech thief friend. Where did Scarbrand go? I am concerned. No, he's still fighting the top knots. Okay, tech thief, you're going to be acting as a scout for ages, I fear. Steel tech. Oh, another failure. Come on, man. You were doing so good. You got one more chance to not screw us over. Also, still have that corpse stitcher. Deranged. Alright. None of those. End turn, we'll see if the Black Pyramid of Nagash, the Sentinels, decide to attack us on the field, and if not, then we will attack them ourselves next turn. It looks like our allies didn't move in to help, but what can you do? I believe Sentinels are close to the end. Oh, they did not attack. Alright, I guess we're doing this the old-fashioned way then. Fine by me. Hey, upkeep reduction for zombies. That helps, considering we have a fair amount of them. Whoa, flooding in Casa Bar. Yeah, well, deserts do get flooding issues. So, control -5, income from buildings -50%. Ugh. That ain't great. But oh well. And we'll figure out what we have to build there afterwards. For now, though, Manny, it's time to go. Alright, wait. Put you in the right stances. Oh, you can't switch stances? That's unfortunate. You're maxed out, but I do want you periodically casting, so let's do that. And now we attack. Alrighty, here we go now. Gotta love the Black Pyramid floating up above here. A little bit difficult to see as this is a dark map, or we're fighting at night, but wow. Anyway, as I was going to say, this is another broken siege, but as you can see, we are doing this in replay format. I took a look at this one, and while it is definitely broken and doesn't quite happen as it should, and due to the desync, it is still good enough to see about 3/4 of the battle, and it's a big enough battle that I'd prefer to actually watch the replay, because I think it's a good one, instead of just replaying it manually, because I'd have to control it fully and then I'd miss a lot of shots. Anyway, we're gonna start the battle off by sending our Vargeist up on top of the enemy walls, where the enemy Tomb Prince will get surrounded. Vargeist will start getting pincushioned by the enemy piles of range units, and I do mean piles, as the enemy has just tons and tons of range all over the map. It does mean we quickly take some fairly heavy damage in the Vargeist, who rapidly lose about 30% or 25% for now of their HP. And they're, by the looks of it, soon going to have to back off lest they take too much damage. And we'll try to speed the matter up by popping a Spirit Leech on the enemy Tomb Prince, but he will get his Curse of Joff activation off, and causing our units to go into rampage, and not just the Vargeists, but all of our heroes who are waiting down below as well. Fortunately, the Tomb Prince will melt away and the Vargeists do remain alive, so if they can make their way off the walls, we can get them to safety and heal them up. Anyway, our towers are moving in. I've always liked the vampire towers as well. They may be an older tower, an older ram as well, but I think they're pretty good looking. Maybe I'm just very, very incredibly biased for the vampire counts, but maybe I'm not. Anyway, the ram continues its way forward. You get hit with a legionary barrage in our blob of skeletons and tomb guard, but that's our tomb guard. Grave guard, but that's all right. Really gotta try our best to unlock the vampire relations technologies faster, especially the vampire coast relations, so that we can hopefully get vampire coast allies and get some depth guard in here. And get some nice combinations of units going. Anyway, looks like our towers have docked upon the walls and have begun disgorging their cargo, skeleton spears, or skeleton warriors rather, to start the day, who will immediately head down into the settlement below. We also, now that we are up on the walls, are able to summon units within the walls, and the zombies start essentially blocking the enemy off. The purpose of this being so that we don't have to rely on the breach. We don't want the same thing to happen like it happened in the first siege of this particular campaign, wherein the enemy essentially blobbed up in the gate. Here we don't have to worry about that, at least hopefully not. Anyway, the ram will attack the gatehouse and hopefully bring it down. The extra health of the gate looks like it doesn't really matter as much when you actually have a proper ram attacking it rather than attempting to break through it via units. Now the desync still happens, unfortunately, but that's probably what allows a decent part of this particular battle to work. And there we go. It's going to be a long way breaking through the sentinels into the Black Pyramid, just as it should be, I suppose. Enemy has a pretty big number of Tomb Guard and Ushabti to their name, and that's a solid combination to hold us back, all the while their massive piles of range units continue hosing us down with arrows. Otherwise, we are going to be getting our reinforcements in, our units of Direwolves and our units of Varix Reavers leading the Black Knights will go for this gate and attempt to head into the enemy's settlement via this manner, and our flyers are getting ready to move as well. Enemy Lord has been killed by Manny and his coterie of lords and heroes, though by and large I'm willing to bet by a Spirit Leech. Ooh, and I like I like how the Tomb Kings here are sort of standing in the light, whereas the skeletons and the Grave Guard are coming in from the shadows. That's perfect. Mannfred would appreciate that. He's pretty edgy. Ah, look at those Ushabti mince infantry, though. You gotta love Ushabti and Tomb King aesthetics, generally speaking. And I'm willing to bet the Ushabti will rack up hundreds of kills between the zombies and the piles of skeletons that we send at them. But there are always more eyes glowing in the darkness and more undead to send at the, well, undead. While our heroes try to traverse the battlefield and attempt to focus down the enemy Ushabti, because well, the rest of our units without those Graveguard with halberds and Graveguard with great weapons, we're going to have a difficult time at dealing with low model units. Alright, time for the Flyers to go. The Vargeists are still damaged from earlier. They were actually at full HP when I played this, so we can see the desync in action. But with most of the enemy units concentrated down in this sort of ramp up to the enemy settlement, it does mean that 1, 2, 3, 4 range units, maybe more, are relatively unprotected, and we can touch down and rip them apart. And of course go after that Screaming Skull Catapult as well. Alright, these skeleton archers shouldn't have been hiding in the shadows like that. They should know that this is Manny's domain. Another unit of skeleton archers attempts to run away, but lots of bats are all over the place, and frankly they don't have much anywhere they can run safely. Other bats are moving in and landing upon the Screaming Skull Catapult so that they cannot fire and arc their shots and down upon our melee units fighting below. Very nice. Very, very nice. The left sort of, or the right rather, portion of the enemy settlement is in trouble now with all those bats in there. The enemy gate is still being attacked by our fast movers, and we are still hovering around the breach. We got a second ghostly unit moving in now as the spirit hosts have come in and have that enfeeble attack on them. Ooh, I do want to check if it works though. Yes, it does. Good. Why am I checking whether it works? Because I'm also using that lesser effects mod so that we get the glorious action rather than too many effects going at the same time. Unfortunately, last time I played with both SFO and that mod, it did cause some abilities to not work. So I'm going to have to try and keep or pay attention to which abilities might not be working. I think it was actually an active instead of a passive ability that didn't work though. It seemed to not want to target units. But who knows, maybe the latest versions of both mods no longer have that issue, which would be lovely because I really, really prefer the less effects mod.
I will do this.
It just makes the replays that much better. Anyway, more Ushabti have made their way forward, but we continue making our way into the enemy settlement. Neither we nor the enemy have a lot of magics available to them. Looks like our fast movers have made their way into the enemy settlement as well. Our dire doggos have found the enemy units of skeleton archers, Screaming Skull Catapults, while the Varix Reavers, who I believe we haven't taken a look at quite yet. There we go. Camera's not so great in between buildings like this, but yeah, the Varix Reavers look pretty darn good. I bet we can't build multiple units of them to have a whole army kitted out like this. But at least they'll match the Regiment of Renown, the Sternsmen, once we get them. We'll have to make a Lost Legion army for them, possibly, if we don't keep them in Manny's force. For now, though, they're better off here. Anyway, we are still in the breach and the fight is still ongoing 8 minutes into the battle. And it's gonna take a heck of a long time to do this. Another reason why I love SFO is the longer battles, which makes it certainly feel like you're working for certain fights, especially in the early game. When units don't get, don't melt away, don't get crushed immediately by a single charge. It's always a great thing. And there's a lot of Ushabti though, and Manny's Spirit Leech is going to have to work overtime on it. He's only done about 10,000 damage so far, but while every Ushabti killed with a Spirit Leech will be good for us. Looks like our Knights have found another unit of enemy archers. And essentially, the Knights and the Bats will continue in this manner, just running down any isolated units that they can. Of course, the desync will probably cause them some problems, but the battle is decided here, as once the enemy's melee are broken, and once their back line is destroyed, obviously they'll be done for. And really, it's the Ushabti. The Tomb Guard will get overrun with time, will get ripped apart. But the Ushabti are not only causing trouble for us and dishing out damage, but obviously also have enough mass to hold our tide of units back. I like to see Lloyd here, or Kevin, I don't know why I called him Lloyd. Oh, Kevin, that's Kevin von Lloydstein. Huh. That's why I called him Lloyd. Kevin von Lloydstein and Manny sort of fighting back to back. They've destroyed the unit of Ushabti that was nearest to them, but unfortunately that does mean we have to try to make our way through the Tomb Guard in order to try to get to those blows into the units that need attacking. Damn. Unfortunately, there is a bridge here, so we can't go up higher. But oh well, there we go. Kevin's closed the distance with more Ushabti. It looks like Manny is doing the same. And the enemy is still holding. Still trying to make our way forward as well. But we have healing superiority. We have our 2 necromancers here, both of which have maxed out their Master of the Dead, so everybody around them is getting plenty of heals. And we can simply out-heal the enemy, even with, oh, another unit of Ushabti summoned. Oh, right now, or was that our summoning? Or did they get summoned at the same time? I don't know. I feel like we summoned a Raised Dead and the enemy got their Ushabti up and running at the same time. But anyway, more Ushabti are in. But as I was saying, we can simply outlast the Sentinels here. Perhaps they should have somehow tapped into the power of the Black Pyramid in order to keep their forces rising. Huh, that might actually be a neat way to make the battle for the Black Pyramid really difficult, as in any unit that is defending is essentially raised again. And the only way to take the place is to fully capture it. That would make it obnoxiously difficult, but I feel like it should be an obnoxiously difficult location on the map to take. Anyway, I do believe the battle is nearly ours, though the balance of power shows it's in the enemy's favor. It's kind of a lie. Our bats and our flyers still moving around over on the map. Or waiting to find more isolated units. But once we've broken through this line, the battle's over. And once again, because this is a broken replay, the battle won't quite last to the end. Which is a bit of a shame, but we've seen nearly the entire thing now. Alright, just a little bit more. Manny is still perfectly fine at full HP, but he has, for the love of... But he has... Oh, he has not reached his healing cap. Somebody's reached his healing cap, but I can't tell who. And I suppose it doesn't matter over much either. And all these Ushabti, the enemy's probably sad that they didn't get any Necrarchs within their garrison. Maybe they should have some Necrarchs in their garrison, although I suppose they'd be at level 1, in which case they wouldn't have a bunch of the empowering auras for those constructs. Alright, how we doing now? Balance of power very slightly creeping in our favor. He's still trying to move forward, but there are just still so many Ushabti. Bit of a sort of, I don't know, like a little no man's land between the bigger concentrations of the units. Although, mind you, because of the broken replay, the units aren't quite following orders as they should be, so that probably explains why that was. There we go, starting to move forward now and attack enemies into those waiting Kopeshes. Here come more zombie summons as well, and any unit that takes sufficient damage, we simply heal right back up. Both with active and passive heals. Oh, unfortunately, we weren't able to use the corpse carts. I was thinking we'd actually make use of the zombies that are on the field here, but I ended up not making use of them, and what I should have done is just sent them off the map and gotten the corpse carts. I've always found it silly that you can't choose which units come in as reinforcements, so that in order to, for example, get those corpse carts on the field, we'd have to send those zombies off the map, and who knew whether what we had here would be sufficient to break through the enemy lines, whether we'd actually need those zombies or not. This is another reason why corpse carts eventually become pointless, in the sense that you want to use necromancers instead, because obviously they have active abilities and Master of the Dead and stuff, as well as being on corpse carts and providing all of their bonuses. with the added massive bonus that the Necromancers, being heroes, are in the front of the army, meaning they aren't last onto the field as reinforcements. Granted, it's a relatively niche bonus, but it's still a bonus. And that's why we'll need those charnel pits everywhere to get massive numbers of Necros. Anyway, looks like even more constructs have joined the fray. The Ushabti have been joined by a unit of, or possibly units, of Sepulchral Stalkers. But the Ushabti's numbers are dwindling. Mannfred up to 17k damage. How are we doing here? 9k damage on Wilmar. We'll be getting that dragon up and running for Manny soon as well, so I'm sure he'll be a lot better at dealing with blobs like this. You know what, despite the desync, this battle, I mean, this was a simple enough battle that it still went relatively okay, in the sense that just a big old blob working its way through the gate. And if you're wondering why I decided to attack at this gate down here, it was just to make it more difficult for the enemy artillery pieces to fire down upon us from where they were. And certainly they can arc their shots occasionally with frightening accuracy, but it worked out in this particular case, especially as the enemy had to concentrate most of their melee down here, which allowed us to destroy at least half of their range. And they did still keep a bunch of range down here, including these Ushabti with Great Bow, which have been firing at us with the support of these Skeleton Archers for the entire time. 350 kills, 50,000 damage. These guys have been absolute monsters. We can't take a look at them, unfortunately, due to the bridges, but, well, that's just the nature of the battle. And there we go with that. The battle will crash, or, well, not really. Rather, the replay will end. As we can see, the enemy army has pretty much destroyed. The bounce power had finally crept in our favor, and our numbers are vastly overwhelming the foe. These are the only units that remain. As soon as they were dead, within probably a minute or so, we'd simply charge the remaining units here, make our way up the ramp, and win the fight. A lovely fight, desync or no, and I think it was worth it watching it like this. Well done, Manny. So falls the Black Pyramid of Nagash. Alrighty, very, very nice, and credit where it's due. The enemy held the breach in their wall, or in their gate, for a long time. Tons of kills and damage on the various Tomb Guard and Ushabti, which were a solid combination at not letting us through. And we lost, let's see, 1 unit of Skeleton Warriors and 2.5 units of Bats. 0.5 because this one's going to revive. Also, those darn Ushabti with Great Bow were really annoying, firing into our blobs of units, racking up 254 kills and 41,000 damage. At the end of the day, however, the Black Pyramid of Nagash falls. And if his pyramid is anything to go by, maybe Nagash was weak after all. Occupy. Lovely. Scepter of Stability. I think we should get a book or something for taking the Black Pyramid, not just the landmark. Oh well. It's a great landmark, though. Tons of money generation, spell resistance faction-wide, as well as 50 Winds of Magic power reserve capacity. It's a big boon, and we can't afford to lose the place, so we're going to build the Ghost Fence here immediately. And I guess we want to probably uncollect the income for the growth. And in fact, probably build the growth building, or we could do the Balefire Brazier as well, slash the Witch House. But I figure we go growth first, just to try to get this place up to tier 3 as fast as possible. Foster Terror, and grow it as much as possible. I guess the income will be reduced by the Ghost Fence, but let's try not to lose the place. Gold Sigil Sword for Kadon and Hellsteed for Manny, meaning he can now fly, which is going to be a big boon yet again. Great Mortis Delta secured, Sentinels destroyed, a new tech available, which we are going to go for, I guess, Genesis of the Vampire counts. Diplomatic relations with vampire counts. Oh, you know what? This'll be fairly solid in... Ooh, another raised dead cost reduction. This'll be fairly solid for allying with the vampire coast and for confederating the vampire counts. Just gotta make sure we get to Vlad before he dies. Assuming, of course, he does die. He might not, who knows. Anyway. Ooh, that's a significant upgrade for the Fellbats as well. 10 armor, 4 melee defense, 4 armor piercing damage. For now, Genesis. Into Denoir Rose after. Alright. Alright, some good stuff. And obviously we'll eventually build the unique units, but we'll need more blood kisses, though we might raise another bloodline lord soon, just because we can. Anyway, obviously we are very much out of time, and I'm going to call the episode here. Next time, all of these guys will... We'll advance towards the Black Tower of Arcan, where this guy holds court. We could attack without Manny, but we don't really have anything to do damage, unfortunately, unless we can raise something, but it doesn't look like we can. Hey, at least we can recover the bats that we lost. Yeah. Anyway, we'll declare war and destroy these guys in next episode, and then take the Great Desert of Erebus, as well as hopefully the first of our books of Nagash, and all of this stuff. Save the followers. I kind of don't like that they took Martek, because we want that for ourselves, though. Maybe we could trade something for it. Don't make us kill you, Arcan. Don't take the good territories. You won't be able to use them nearly as well as we will. Hopefully Rapunzel fights back. We also don't want Rapunzel to die because we want her to defeat trade. And ooh, Urzag is defeating Talakwa quite handily as well, so we'll need to prepare for the inevitable war with Kim and the dwarfs. Once again, gotta remember that we are surrounded by foes, and it's only a matter of time before they come for us. Anyway, more great vampire action to come, so stay tuned for more. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold for the longer episodes. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.